Hi, my name is Grace Berman, and I am a junior from South O'Brien, and this is my third year doing a science fair project. The title of my project is The Outlook of Genetically Modified and Conventional Seed, and I created this on a PowerPoint, which is pretty hard to see right now, so at the end of this video, I will add in a blown up video of my PowerPoint. So I wanted to see if farmers preferred genetically modified, conventional, or organic seed, and why they chose that seed. My hypothesis was that more farmers would choose genetically modified over conventional or organic, and I thought they would choose that because of the price. So to get started, I talked to my ag teacher, and he came up with the idea of having me do a Google form and turning this into a social science project. So I created a Google form, and the first thing I put on there was a disclaimer stating that it would be all confidential, what it'd be used for, and it'd only take 5 minutes, and if they had any questions, they could contact my ag teacher. The very first question I asked them was if they were over the age of 18 and if they would be willing to participate in my study. Then I created another range of questions, which consisted of how many acres they plant, how many years they've been planting, what age range they fit in, if they plant conventional, organic, or GMO seed, and what percent they plant if they plant more than one. Then, to figure out why they chose that seed, I created a list of different reasons, which included yield potential, chemical resistance, insect resistant, seed dealer availability, what they've always planted, advertisement, agronomist, test plot data, another corn producer, etc. Then I asked my dad, who is a crop insurance agent, where I could find farmers that'd be willing to fill out my survey. And he told me they were planning on having a crop insurance meeting for J&K soon, and told me I could go there and see if they'd be willing to fill that out. So when he had the meeting, I went over there and handed out my surveys to the people willing to participate. And while I was doing that, I told them a little bit of background on my project and went over kind of the disclaimer because most of the farmers probably wouldn't have read it. So I told them that it'd be all confidential, only take 5 minutes. If they have any questions, feel free to contact my ag teacher. Then while I was waiting, I waited for them to fill it out, and I collected it all. And when I got home, I went over the data and analyzed it and came up with my results. So after conducting this experiment, I learned that most farmers chose GMO and over conventional and organic. I also realized that most farmers choose it because of the yield potential and the chemical resistance, and most of the new and experienced farmers chose organic and conventional, and most of the more experienced farmers chose GMO. So this graph shows that 2 out of the 24 farmers that I surveyed plant conventional, and 1 out of the 24 plant organic. The rest of them plant GMO. So I made a graph based on what farmers plant based on their age, and it showed that most of the younger farmers plant conventional and organic, while the older farmers plant GMO. I also created a graph based on the years they've been planting, and it shows that most of the newer and experienced farmers plant conventional and organic, while most of the more experienced plant GMO. And I also created a graph based on how many acres they plant, and most of the lower acres plant conventional and organic, while the higher amount of acres plant GMO, even though GMO ranges throughout the board. And then I created a graph based on the reasons that farmers chose that, and the one organic farmer said that he chose it based on price, and the 2 conventional farmers said they chose it based on availability, price, yield potential, and their seed dealer. And the top 2 choices for the GMO was chemical resistance and yield potential. So my conclusion was my hypothesis was right and wrong. I had that farmers chose GMO over the other 2 types, but instead of price being the reason why, it was because of yield potential and chemical resistance. My next step in this project would be to take it to a hands-on project and go to a seed company, and they could show me how they make their seed chemical resistance while still having a good yield potential. This would help farmers find a seed that could do both chemical resistance and have a good yield potential. This also helps the seed companies realize that farmers want something that is both chemical resistant and yield potential is good. I would also tell the seed company that they are also looking for insect resistant because that was a second top choice. These are photos that have my dad in the background, and he said it's a-okay to have his picture in here, but you can see them closer up in the video that is coming right after this of a close-up of my PowerPoint. Thank you for watching.